ethics page in your handouts that the PDFs or the resources that we're providing you, you will have one question on, out of your 150 questions, one question will be on this or one of these bullets right here. And it'll be something similar to some of the questions that we've already started to see, where they'll word it creatively in an attempt to potentially try to trick you or misword things in order to make it a little bit more difficult for you to pick the right answer. But check this out. A lot of these actually sound like your Superman or Superwoman here in some of them. So act honorably, honestly, justly, responsibly, and legally to protect society. And these are ISC squared canons or code of ethics, they're called. Work diligently and provide competent services and advance the security profession. I know there are some businesses in town that in the Huntsville area that say that they do certain things, and personally, we have come behind those companies and helped clean up some messes that they've made. So work diligently and provide competent services is super important. This is one that's near and dear to my heart right here. They encourage the growth and research, teach, mentor, and value the certification. You know, we go into the city schools and help with the Cyber Patriot. We also speak at conferences all over the nation to try to grow and learn new things. You know, you oftentimes hear people talk about the FUD factor, FUD, and that is the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And a lot of companies play off of that, but the ISC squares discourage unnecessary fear or doubt and do not consent to bad practices. Discourage unsafe practices and preserve and strengthen the integrity of the public infrastructures. That makes sense. Abide by all contracts and give prudent advice. What's the right thing to do? Avoid any conflict of interest. And when we get into talking about access control, we'll talk about the Chinese wall model that is specifically geared to thwart any conflict of interest. So if your gut's telling you that you have a conflict of interest, you throw it over the fence, you make it known that there may be a conflict of interest, and then recuse yourself to be able to give it to somebody else to not put you in a bad spot. Stay current on skills, which is absolutely necessary in our business. And one of the cool things about being a cybersecurity expert or cybersecurity engineer is there's so much to specialize in that the metaphor of 10 miles wide and an inch deep really comes into play in the staying on top of the current skills. Each and every one of us on the phone right now or on this WebEx have different specialties that we could augment or couple each other with being able to do things better than each other. And that's important. Things like volunteering for some of the things that I mentioned, but also in addition to that, maybe speaking at conferences, joining leadership groups in the area are all things that are important that ISC squared promotes. And once you achieve this certification, it's super important for you to stay on top of your skills, because each year you will be required to submit 40 continuing professional education credits towards your certification. So those CPEs come in watching videos, reading books, joining nonprofit board, being part of conferences and helping to organize conference, speaking at conferences, and a litany of other things that you can also do to get those CPEs. In town here, when I was the president of the Information Systems Security Association, we created the Cybersecurity Summit here in town. And since then, 10 years have gone by, and it's continued to grow. But one of the things that I always like to do when I was the president is each month give people enough things that they would, throughout the year, be able to reach their CPEs that they needed in order to be successful in those 40 CPEs for whatever certification they had, in this case, CISSP. So, these, you'll see one question on these on your exam, and it's important that you at least pay attention to these. So I would encourage you to make a note of that and kind of go from there. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and